Hey everybody, this is Tommy D once again, and we are going to continue cooking up a Beehive story. So, here we are on the content manager. This is Drupal, and as you can see there's 4 tabs here. So content is basically going to cover basically what shows up, and we're going to go over that of course today. Accessories is a little more, you can have a little image to highlight your Beehive story. And that's pretty nice. It gives a nice, much more visually interesting. So you're almost gonna always want to do that. You also put some related links. Basically, this covers a lot of what's on the sidebar. Option settings. This is most important part of this one, I think, is definitely whether it's published or not. If you don't feel like the story's ready for prime time yet, you can unclick publish. If you feel like it's a really big deal, go ahead and promote it to the front page. And that's where it's going to show up under the editor's picks. And SEO, this might be a little more advanced, but you can kind of do a meta tag description. So if it shows up on Google search, you know, this is what's going to say under the title. So something like, you know, Eskimos are awesome. So, you know, it'd be like the Kansas City Beehive. Eskimos are awesome. So if you go under content, title, you know, this is just going to be what your title is, what's going to show up. So our example will be Eskimos are awesome. And your long title is just going to be the same. It's kind of what's going to show up on the left sidebar in the navigation links, but you almost always just want to keep it what the title is. So I've never actually messed with that before. Language is going to be English most of the time. If you can speak Spanish and write in Spanish, well, this is where you would put it down. So, content topic, this is basically where it's going to show up in the site. So if you hit school, it's going to show up in the school section. And if you click on these little plus boxes, it's going to show up and you're going to see a lot more options. So, yeah, if you have something that's a specifically going to college story, go ahead and click on, you know, going to college. It'll show up in the going to college section, and then you'll have the opportunity to promote it here and there. So, but there's sort of the meat and potatoes. Is definitely going to be the body section. I went over this a little bit the last lesson, but yeah, it's sort of a see what you get editor. And most of the stuff, you know, bolding, italics, aligning stuff, pretty simple. Sort of a cool thing you can do, and we're just going to type in some random stuff. If you click on this button that says source, you kind of go into the HTML. And so depending on how comfortable you are in HTML, sometimes you just might want to go in and look at this and see how it's formatted. If something doesn't look right here, sometimes it just helps to go into the source code. And especially if you're doing like a list, you know, like a numbered list, sometimes it might just be better to format it, you know, as list items. But again, that's going to be how comfortable you feel with HTML. So I'm just going to do this for an example, just to show you that I typed in the source code, and then I go back to the body, and that's where it's at. So it's probably a good thing we're not publishing this one. Teaser, you're required to just put a really quick sentence about what it's about. So this is if you promote it, it'll have something to describe it. So, you know, of course ours is going to be Eskimos, learn more about Eskimos and puppies in Kansas City. And the rest of this stuff, the log message, that's just kind of if you, it saves it every time you make a revision to a story. So, that's sort of a way you can stay organized. So you say, I'll say, you know, first draft. So that's sort of the content section. As you say, we're just only publishing at Kansas City. That's all we have control over right now. And in the next session, we're going to learn all about the accessories.